Hello, Leo, Sun, Moon, Rising. Welcome to your reading for January of 2021. Let's get into your reading. What's going on for Leo this month? Alright, let's start from that. Okay. Okay, so like things around receiving right away coming up. Hardcore. Very, very interesting. Okay, general energy for your reading. Knight of Wands. So take an action towards something. There might be a new fiery person in your life. This could just be you showing up, wanting to leap into some sort of a new cycle. It's followed by the 10 of Pentacles in the reverse and the Magician and the 7 of Pentacles in the reverse and the 9 of Pentacles. So I really see you like not wanting to repeat old past mistakes. You are with this Magician, you know, in manifestor mode. So there's a lot of power at your disposal, which is always so much fun. Okay, so in your current energy, we have the 9 of Wands in the reverse crossed by Justice. So I'm feeling kind of like, you know, with these energies of like things from the past, kind of like you're not being invited to continue on, there is a kind of a sense that you're lowering your guard a little bit. You're feeling like the things that caused your guard to get up in the first place were stealing too much of your peace. It could be that there was just too much giving, not enough receiving maybe, and so there was like a hypervigilance that I think, you know, maybe was your coping mechanism for a little while. So I feel like I see you in that energy right now of just being like, okay, what do I let into my life? What do I not let in? How do I achieve balance in this situation? In your recent past, I have the 4 of, sorry, my head just got so itchy, Pentacle Cups in the reverse. So this is a very long period of introspection, lost in my boots kind of energy, feeling very, it is that energy of like, how do I fill these shoes that I've made for myself? I feel like some of you may have been, again, with your current energy being like in this, like, what do I let in? What do I let out? This feels like there was a deep sort of sadness that it was linked to in some way. We are going to go back and clarify and figure out what exactly is going on here. But it feels like there was something that was just holding you captive in some way, and that you would always return to, maybe in the dream time, maybe when your mind would wander. It was just like that's where you ended up, and it was like it was a little bit of like a whirlpool, if you know what I mean. Okay, so in your hidden energies, interesting, with your main challenge is justice, and this in your hidden energies, finding the right balance might be very, very challenging for you right now. This is kind of feeling like, you know, Leo, you're a real generous sign. You know, you give from the heart a lot of the times, and your conscious goal is this 9 of Cups. So you want things to be nice and like beautiful and juicy on that emotional level, but it is kind of like, how do you receive, right? How do you allow things to come in? The weekly reading, this showed up. So, I mean, if you got here from that, awesome. This reading is probably for you. I'm also kind of just getting the feeling that you might be suspicious of what people are offering you. Could be the thing. And again, because you're like, if you knew how long it took me to rebuild my little world, there's a lot of sadness, a lot of healing that you had to go through to get to this point. You're like, you would understand why I'm a little bit defensive, a little bit choosy about who I let in. So, you know, on that level, it's very valid. In the immediate future, I have really good news for you. It's like, you get to imagine some new possibilities for yourself. And this is really that energy of like, when like energy follows thought, and those old principles of when you think about something, then they become your words, and your words become your actions become your habits, and your habits become your life, you know? So this is you like, what thoughts do I want to decorate the inside of my head with? Really, really good habit forming energy for you. In your strengths. 444. Nice. You're out working through those abandonment issues. Yes, Leo. Yes, I love this for you. This is great because it's like, I think this whole season probably was teaching you a lot about like, how much do I need you? you know, like I'm good with me now. That's what I'm feeling for you. Leo, this is really kind of feeling like one of those times when, you know, maybe you got dealt a real shit hand for a long period of time. And maybe it did cause you to go deep, dark, weird. I don't know. But the result of it is like, hey, you know, I got me. At the end of the day, that's all I need. What's more is I feel like this is like, if there was like financial drought for you or material drought, I feel like that's really coming to an end for you. Or if you've been exiling yourself, that's stopping. That's not going to keep going anymore. I really do see that you're kind of like, exile is a valid thing. First of all, I think it's really important to go through periods where you are exiled, but this is like the end of exile. This is like returning to the fold. So your hopes and fears, yeah, we have this Six of Cups. You're like, I'm really just hoping that I don't repeat past mistakes. I'm hoping that I'm not naive about what I'm letting in. I'm seeing like really hopeful that there's like beauty in relationships. You're hoping for like soulmate connections. You're hoping that soul family finds you. It's beautiful. The people around you are seeing kind of a different story. They're kind of seeing a little bit of mental confusion. I always like to compare and contrast, like, this is what people see, but this is where you're at, because I find that clears up a lot of confusion on the mental plane for us sometimes. Is like people are seeing that like the communication isn't happening really good, whereas like you're just really trying to figure out like what's your motive, you know? Yeah. So very interesting stuff. So the result here, High Priestess reversed. Yeah, spending just a little bit more time tinkering away. Spending a little bit more time with you. Figuring out, because here's what I feel like it is like I feel like you've figured out who and what to trust, and now you're figuring out like, how do I like work with that energy without speaking out when I need to be. I've always kind of said that like this is terrible, but I've always said that Scorpios are Leos who have figured out how to shut up. As a Leo, I'm allowed to say that. But it's true. This is like one of those cases where it's like, I don't like you, but now you're like, I don't have to tell you that I like you. I just have to figure out how to like manage my energy so that we don't have to be in the same place at the same time. That kind of thing. Hang on just a second. She's gone for a little bit of a ride. So let's go in and clarify. I really want to go to this Four of Cups in your recent past. Interesting. Actually, sorry, let's start with this Knight of Wands. Figure out what this general energy is about. Knight of Wands, what are you doing here in Leo's reading? Okay, I've got the Seven of Pentacles in the reverse. I've got the Eight of Pentacles in the reverse. I've got the Five of Cups. Holy doodle. That's not fun at all. Yeah, really like restricted and bound to the past. This is like, have you ever had to write a research paper and you know if you can just find that one source that proves that one like intuition where you know you're like, there is some sort of mechanism of action that I just have to get clear on, and if I can find that one paper, everything is gonna like fall into place. It like that very nitpicky kind of energy. It feels like that, except for applied to some sort of situation from your past, where you're just analyzing things and thinking like, okay, like where did I go wrong? Where did it go wrong? What steps can I take to make sure I don't do that again? But there's a lot of sadness that it's causing for you. There's a lot of, you know, grief that it's like you're starting to, it's just like coming up as you're like, okay, how do I hold myself accountable, maybe, or how do I understand the situation from a different perspective? But it's causing so much sadness for you. So it's like, it's just interesting. Just interesting for you there, Leo. Let's go into this recent past energy. Oops. Okay. So the Devil reversed. Yeah, nice. And then the Ten of Wands reversed and the King of Cups reversed. Okay, this is like great, like no bullshit please energy. This is so, it's like Leo, it's so cool because it's like the responsibilities that maybe the words that came to mind are like really backwards and kind of like judgmental. So like I'm gonna say them and hope they make sense, but it's like the responsibilities of like that it's kind of like when we view our addictions as our counterparts or as our companions, and there's like a maintenance to like having an addiction. I don't know if any of you have struggled with addiction before, but it's very, very challenging to be like, okay, I have a problem. And it feels like that responsibility piece is like you there's just a shift that happened there where you're like, okay, maybe I am part of the problem. But with this King of Cups, this could be you, this could be a Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces for you as well. But this kind of feels like you recognizing that there was a lot of like harm being done, some sort, like something was just not working itself out, or again you were just feeling bound to some sort of like toxic situation, because the emotions of it just weren't flowing, because it was like it could have been one of those situations where it's like you self-medicate so that you don't feel something, because you know if you feel it you have to do something. 1111, I see this a lot, and it's, you know, from a trauma informed perspective, like that's like anyone who has an addiction, it's only, you only do it because it's the only thing that makes the pain stop, right? So it's like, I feel like what happened for you is in this place, you realized that the sedation was like taking away from other aspects of your life, where it was really starting to like wear away at your capacity to show up, at your capacity to feel joy, at your capacity to like let yourself share like your inner world and be in the world and like receive and feel like you deserve to receive. Okay, we're getting real here. We're getting very real. Also, like, if this is resonating and you're like, okay, like, easy there, Claire, there is like no shame in addiction. There's no shame in being an addict. There's no shame in trauma. Okay? Okay, babe? You take care of yourself and don't let anybody who says otherwise really get inside of your head, because they're stupid. 12. Okay. Let's see what this. Holy smokes, everybody's jumping all over the place. Let's go to this 9 of Wands in the reverse in your current energy. Holy doodle. Okay, team. Let's go for you. 6 of Wands in the reverse, 2 of Cups in the reverse, and the Empress. Oh no, that's really unfortunate, isn't it? Okay, this is like the way that some sort of interpersonal thing, some sort of very emotionally involved relationship, this is like a slice of, so it just didn't work. It's like this looks like a breakup, God forbid, unless you wanted it to be. But like something ended, some sort of, it was so involved and it could have been really codependent that it just like took you down a few pegs, you know? It really like took you down to this place where you're like, the defense response was really like all you felt like you maybe had left. This could be someone else too. This doesn't necessarily feel like you. Not with like the energies that I see here. And this Empress is like, yeah, this is you really like, this is that comfort within yourself thing that I was talking about. You know, like I don't need anyone else because I have me and I'm enough. That's what this is like. And this is like, none of those other relationships worked, maybe. Or maybe none of those other compromises worked because they weren't honoring this in some regard. If that kind of makes sense. Holy Moses, okay. Sorry, I'm a little bit of like a chaotic child today, which is fun for me, but annoying for everyone else. For sure. Let's go to this 9 of Cups in your conscious goal. What does Leo want? Hermit reverse, the Queen of Pentacles reverse, and the 6 of Swords reverse. What? This is weird. It's like, on one hand, you're like, I don't want to walk away. But also, like, I don't want to release control. But also, like, I don't want to, like... Okay. So, like, to break it down, with the Hermit, this is like really feeling like you do want this whole like period of like entertaining, or just analyzing the past, like I was talking about. This is like really wanting that to be over, and really, I think this is like a rejection of like materialism as well. With the Six of Swords in the reverse, it's kind of talking to me about like, oh, okay, this is what it is. It's like really hoping that you don't tell yourself that the grass is greener on the other side. That's what that is. Starting to just like, I'm going to be grateful for what's here right now and make the best of this situation. Yeah, Page of Pentacles. It's just trying to jump out. I'm just trying to, come out of isolation. So let's get out of this energy, because I feel like it's pretty clear what's going on. And let's go to this Seven of Cups in your immediate future. Okay, I've got the Two of Pentacles, I've got the Ace of Swords reversed, and I've got the Eight of Wands. That's really interesting. There's a big transition that happens. There's a balancing act here, of course, is like, you're doing the imagination station. And it is causing kind of a bit of confusion for you at the end of the day. It's like juggling so many things mentally that it's like, how do I settle on just one, basically? How do these things that seemingly coexist kind of thing. There's a bit of confusion there. There is a desire to take action, and there is a big change that I see happening for you. There is just a little bit of like a balancing act that you're doing here as well. Give me just a second with these cards. Interesting. If there is like lucid dreaming, okay, or writing down like the things that are happening in your dreams are probably quite prophetic, and it's kind of like, what? That doesn't like make logical sense. I don't know how I know that, but it brings you some sort of insight that changes the game. So that's what I'm going to say about that, and leave it at that. Let's go to this High Priestess in the outcome, and then I'm going to wrap your reading up with an oracle card, and go from there. What is this High Priestess doing here? Okay, I've got the Three of Swords in the reverse with the Three of Cups, and the Ten of Pentacles in the reverse. Whoa, that's really complex. Oh my god. It's good. There's a release of pain, and there is a rejoining of culture, a rejoining of some sort of a community, but it's just because I always think of this card as like, it's not always the healthiest thing that we go back to with the Ten of Pentacles in the reverse. It's not always something that outlives us, per se. But it is something that it's showing up as quite healthy today, because there's a release of this heartache. There's a release of this pain. And there might be... I'm just kind of inclined to tell you, like, trust your instincts and trust your intuition on things, because... it's like one of those things where it's like you might entertain it, and just sometimes you do have to like do something to figure out if it's worth doing, and then realizing like, oh, okay, well that was fun, but I don't need to keep doing that. Could be the case. So let's get you an oracle card. Sure. Okay, the Drum and the Spiral. I'm going to get the book and read you the description for these cards, Leo. The Spiral. Yeah, there's repeating patterns, I tell you. There's a really great ritual that this book gives for this card, so I'm going to go ahead and read that. To renew yourself, you must shed your old skin. You have already done this, so do not keep scraping away at the old, but welcome the soft, new skin that is starting to grow. Break the habit of working on your faults all the time. Let nature take its course. Know that new skin feels vulnerable and scary at times. Trust the medicine of the spiral as it guides your journey of renewal. Whew. Okay, that's really nice. And the drum, let's get that for you, and then I will finish up your reading for you. Okay, the drum invites you to take the next bold step in your journey. The forces of heaven and earth are aligned behind you, supporting effortless action. This is not a time to push against the river. The current will take you exactly where you want to go once you jump in. Collect your power tools and summon your courage, because it is going to be a wild and glorious journey. Allow yourself to be carried by the rhythm of what is really essential in your life. Okay, awesome. So yeah, I really love this reading for you, Leo. This is like beginning of a great new chapter in your life. I really hope that this reading helps. I will see you next month. Okay, bye.